You have definitely got to dig into those situations because it can't always be the victim. Ask more probing questions. Determine if they have toxic traits. If
Introducing the world's first power mode string trimmer with Line IQ technology. It loads the line automatically and keeps the line extended to maintain full trimming power. Ego is the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, exclusively Lowe's, Ace, and Ego authorized dealers.
Change is constant. The deaf people haven't changed a bit, and neither has our philosophy to be the best tool for the job. What started as a call to outfit the prospectors of the combat gold rush evolved into manufacturing products for those who made their living in the unrelenting woods of the Pacific Northwest. A century later, we're still committed to making rugged gear, we're not willing to back down in the face of challenge.
they're initiating any of these altercations, you could possibly save yourself from a bunch of drama and even save your life. When it comes to Irene, it's possible that she told her most recent boyfriend about those two ex-boyfriends, and who knows? She could have lied about whatever issues that she had going on with those men and blamed it all on them with her decision to request restraining orders. But when examining people, you don't just look at what they say, you look at their actions, and sometimes you have to read between the lines. Trust me, they're going to leave all sorts of clues. These days, when you're first meeting a woman, she's going to spend a lot of attention focusing on income, expenses, assets. She's trying to determine your net worth without you confirming or giving the information up. So she's trying to figure out what you do. That way, she's able to Google about how much you're making, how you're living. Men right away, especially in today's hookup culture, they're trying to figure out what time y'all going to bed. No real concern about if the lady is crazy. And then the woman, she's not really concerned either. Just as long as his income is sufficient, she's just about willing to accept anything. And this is how you have so many people getting together. And even if they're married, they're getting a divorce within the first 2 to 5 years because they really didn't do their research. They didn't do their due diligence, so they picked the wrong person. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below. Irene said that she was not guilty. What do you think would be her defense? Is she crazy or just another modern woman not wanting to take responsibility for what she did to her ex-boyfriend and this new woman? I want to hear what you think, so go ahead and sound off below. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.
Yeah, I definitely, man. But yeah, definitely. But that shit'll fly by so fast. Before you blink, you'll be like, damn. You'll be looking at pictures and be like, what? Yeah.
I'm gonna say, he's not gonna say it like just to be horrible. If he's telling you, oh, darling, you're a whore, he means that.
And you know what it is? You've kind of been caught, because sometimes I feel like girls will be like, I've done the same thing. It means you're a whore. When a man has to open his mouth and say it, honestly, for him to, men don't care about stuff. Men don't only talk when they need to. You're a whore, babes.
I think a woman's got to maintain her social capital. So a man being able to call her a whore,
you got yours,
just diminishes her social capital because that's who you're of value to. You're not of value to other girls. You're of value to men. So especially if the guy is a guy that you like. If you see an attractive guy call you a whore, it's game over. It's game over.
What do you think?
No,
I agree, honestly, because if a guy came up to me and said I'm a whore, I'll just think my life's over. I'll never get married.
Have you said men are trash before?
100%.
I've said it before. I have said it before, yeah.
Did you mean it?
No. I don't think all men are trash. That's a lie. Yes, I do.
It's easy to be like this and that. You know when you grow up and there's life experiences.
Well, life humbles you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think you realise everyone's got a bit of mental health. Everyone's traumatized. Look, people need therapy.
I don't think girls are fucking the same guys and then they're calling those guys trash. Most men don't have sex.
Alright, so then you go for a certain type of woman because you sat here and said most men.
I'm an international citizen.
But then you said most women are crazy, so you go for crazy women.
No, I know women who are crazy and I've experienced crazy women. I remember, like I said, I do this. I talk to women on a regular basis, so I get stories from women who I don't need to interact with on a normal basis, and they will tell me certain things. Like I know girls who have stopped their boyfriend from getting their dream job because he was going to break up with her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff spiteful as that. That's crazy stuff.
Don't you think that? I think everybody needs therapy.
Hey, this is whole.
I do advocate for therapy, but I'm saying that most
compliments
just
every
remember,
day.
the type of man that you deem attractive is very, represents a small minority of men, which means that he has all the options. Which also means that the guys you're calling trash are only trash because you're all sleeping with the same men. Then you want to go around and say, men are this and men are that. There's a whole breadth of men out there who will treat you well, but you ignore those ones to sleep with the ones that your friends sleep with, your cousin's going to sleep with, your best friend's going to sleep with, and the men are trash. When really, it's the guys you're letting inside.
So what? So why do you think it's okay to say that? To say what? Like men are trash. You just said you do think that. Why do you think they're trash? Like, I feel like say the women's side.
Honestly, yeah, I feel like my recent experiences have really opened my eyes.
Okay.
Men from all different walks of life. Not that I have slept with them for something else that I have experienced. I've seen married men come to talk to me that seem like they're in happy relationships. I'm like, wow. So even the married ones cheat. I've seen people that are my age act trash. I've seen people that are traumatized act trash. People who've been through therapy act trash. I feel like I've just seen all men act trash. So that's why I think
who cheats more, men or women?
Women don't get caught.
I feel like men cheat more. Honestly, I feel like men cheat more.
The rates are similar.
Really?
Yeah.
And
I think women lie more. Who lies more, men or women?
Women.
And women separate.
Yeah. So by that logic, wouldn't you say that women get away with cheating more?
Yeah.
No, but I feel that for women is
So would you say that women are equally trash?
No, because I feel like women cheat when there's a reason. Men cheat because, as you guys said, that their hormones make them cheat.
So 20% of men are in sexless marriages. Would you say that's a good reason that if you're not having sex with your husband that he should cheat?
2, 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so would you say in the cheating stat is about 25% of men cheat? Would you say that's a good reason?
Yes. Catching me out. Catching me out.
No, I don't look at. I mean, I forgot, how old did you say you were?
I'm 21.
Yeah, I mean you're young, right? But I'm saying like life is gonna show you. Like life will humble you. And life at some point you have to take accountability for the men you date.
Okay.
And like every situation you're in is your own fault. Like just like everything. Like, and if you're the common denominator with all these trash men, why are they interacting with you?
And also, can I just add, majority of the people that say men are trash, one, they've never been raised maybe by their father or had no interaction outside of sexual. So their idea of men is just what can that man do for me in a sexual way and in a financial way? So they will say men are trash when they don't get sex, they don't get financial gain. The man resists her drive for him to do what she wants. So we have to look at these factors. Me personally, I've never said men are trash because I see the benefits that they bring to my life. Family-wise, honestly, I have had no reason to say men are trash. It's a blanket statement. When you appreciate the benefits that men bring into the arena, you actually realize we need them and they need us.
And I think there's a lot of buzzwords that just come from TikTok.
Yeah. Men don't need women. Women need men. Men could survive without women. If all the women disappeared tomorrow, men would be fine outside of reproduction. So women need men.
So they need us for reproduction, yeah. So
that's it.
Yeah.
If tomorrow they made artificial wombs, what would they need a woman for?
Well, they need eggs. They need eggs, right?
No. Okay. Who's a better companion, men or women?
Yeah, but what's the capacity? No, but what's the capacity for that companionship? You know,
outside of children, and if you could get a hooker.
But you know,
so men
built the world.
Listen, I have some thoughts about dating, obviously. I got some thoughts about it because I'm super passionate about this issue. Obviously, I think women's sexual rights and just rights in general.
Definitely right about that. Looking like
it always strikes a nerve with me.
Like,
and also, y'all men just drive me nuts.
Right there.
No, all of y'all drive me crazy. So,
be different.
but before I get into
It's always been like that, though.
back to Lori Harvey, because I'm about to get on tangent right now. Lori Harvey, I would say, like, if Lori Harvey was a friend in my head, if she was my friend, and she is a friend in my head, right? And I were to give Lori Harvey some advice.
Man, I'm out here in Atlanta. People
I have
that
zero advice for Lori Harvey. Yes, I think Lori Harvey is probably the first person that I've talked about on the show that I have no advice for. Because I feel like Lori Harvey did everything right.
Just be looking up.
Lori Harvey.
Wait, hold on.
God. Like this, people just be looking.
Yo, if Superhead.
People be like, bro, I like those.
It's giving you your kudos. If Superhead is bigging you up,
then you tell me
then you're doing something wrong. Like, you're doing something wrong. Anyway, let's keep going.
Like, really?
Kissed a bunch of frogs. And it's not her fault that none of them were good enough. That's their fault. If you were a big enough man in more ways than one, you might have been able to keep her. But you weren't good enough. You weren't big enough. You weren't man enough. You weren't something enough for her based on her standards, most likely. And she moved on. And we can't stigmatize women moving on. Y'all want us to settle for less so bad.
Her ability to misconstrue reality is above average at best.
What made you
think that Diddy, who is a billionaire, couldn't find another Lori Harvey, or that Future utilized her for exactly what he wanted? But instead, the narrative is to shame men that they weren't good enough, or they weren't big enough in more ways than one. Complete and utter bullshit.
And when a woman doesn't settle for less and she knows when to zip and zap and dip and dive, you're like, oh, she's a slut. Because you're not good enough for her? Now she belongs to the streets? And it's always the men with 17 kids talking about you belong to the streets. Bro, you are the streets. You're the dirty, nasty, rat-infested. You're a rat carrying pizza on the subway in New York, and you are the streets.
Yo, she's clearly sneak this in Future right here. What?
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day, this virtual home will be made of code. And though they're virtual students, what they learn together is real. The surgeon will be able to practice as many times as needed in the metaverse before laying her hands on a real patient. These students aren't really back in 32 BCE, but they can still watch Mark Antony debate in ancient Rome. The metaverse may be virtual, but the impact will be real.
2009.
Where should we put all your luggage, Miss Hilton?
In the connecting room, please. Book confirmed connecting rooms for an extra large closet. Or, for your family. When you need a connecting room for whatever reason, it matters.
I ain't never seen that before.
Hilton, for the stay.
I don't have kids, man, but can I not be allowed to say for the street actions or behaviors based on the things that I'm saying? What we're seeing here is clearly deception through projection, blurring the lines between what's unacceptable and what is acceptable behavior by using the subjectivity of the sister code to live in her truth without accountability.
But because you're not enough for her, and then she ends up with Michael B. Jordan.
That's a good one.
Who is a beautiful man inside and out, I'm sure. And obviously, he can hold her attention.
Obviously.
This is what I always say.
Right here.
It's not the first. Remember when Rachel was like, I hit it first. And it ain't cute to be the first. That's not the cute one. It's the last. It was good enough to be the last.
Oh, God. That's like saying, yo, bro, I just bought this Lamborghini. Oh, word? How many miles it got on it? 300,000, and then your bro was like, "Oh shit, the price must have been through the roof because it got so many damn miles on it." It's complete absurdity. It makes no sense. What gets better with time and use? Your price does not go up the more miles that are put on you, especially in the dating marketplace, and especially with dudes knowing how competitive that we are. All 21 3/4 lady that watch this channel right here, this is why you have to keep on watching male-focused content. Because if you dive into your echo chambers and you have influential leaders with mindsets like this, you can be led astray. But let's proceed.
First is easy. I'm experimenting, bro. Of course you were the first. I don't know what I'm doing, it's fine. But if I'm an experienced woman who has done my sexual due diligence, who has dated and kissed all the frogs, and then you are the prince and you get to be the last one.
Oh God.
You're the one who lets me see that I don't want any of that. And I'm gonna stay right here. Like you're it. It's not who's first, it's who's last.
Yo, she rebranded it as sexual due diligence. It was absolutely hilarious. But here's the fact. Superhead lived her best life, garnered a, let's say, sub-ideal reputation, is not married, has no long-term prospects with a man of value. So now she's using Jedi mind tricks to get someone to settle for the last winner.
Okay, well, on a more positive note, what makes you feel powerful, like, when dating?
Not compromising my values and like my standards and my requirements. I think it just also depends to like where you guys are at in that stage of the relationship because sometimes like you guys just make sure you're getting to the right person. I think that's important.
I just like counting my
getting to the wrong person, it's gonna like
I ain't even believe it.
But then when you know the right person, because everybody have on a mask.
I just got bored.
In the beginning. Okay. Exactly. So like overall, like what stage of dating do you feel like you start seeing people's true colors? That's the even better question.
Hold up, before she gets into that, y'all just pick up what she just said. What makes her feel powerful in dating is not compromising. It's not about the thought of making her man happy. It's not about the thought of building relationship skills that can potentially lead into building a family with somebody. What makes her powerful is about not compromising her modern woman standards. Y'all better pay attention to the words. Michael B. Jordan, we understand you now, my G, because at the end of the day, high value men don't play that with us when we were following in the gym.
See, that's the thing. We talk about like following us, following our heart, following that feeling, but at the same time, have a whole bunch of requirements on what a person should be. So how do we know like which ones are like
sweat, blood, tears,
harsh, or am I being?
Well, I think like there's some superficial requirements that like okay,
a lot of ups and downs.
You can cut down on those. You can compromise on some of those. It's like, okay, that's not really important if it's somebody who's genuinely like a really good person. You have everybody's interests at heart. Then I feel like, okay, we can compromise on some of those things. But I think like, as long as you're not compromising on like your core values and beliefs and like,
be a soldier.
Okay.
Gotta be a soldier.
Tell me, Lori, what about your core values did you not compromise on when you allegedly dated
everybody can't do
and his son, then the world's most toxic rapper? What exactly represents your values? It's like on one side of the coin, you look at the words, and on the other side of the coin, you look at the actions. And if the words don't match the actions, then that incongruence allows for questioning. Honestly, my G's, that incongruence is exactly what you guys should be looking at in your current dating situations today.
Describe how taking control improves the overall dating experience.
I think you'll just be happier at the end of the day.
Yeah.
God damn!
I'm very much in a space right now where I'm not doing anything that's going to compromise my peace and happiness. So I think
I just only tell people what.
Making sure you like maintain your power, don't give your power away to anybody. That I feel like is the key to like truly being happy in or out of a relationship.
She's such a great case study because she exemplifies the modern woman dogma, literally to a T. Going for a high value man, or let's just say a man that's a leader with a together mindset, means that you will lose power in your individualistic mindset. This is the reality that boss babes can't seem to come to terms with. This is why they choose to live their best lives in their truths, because they don't want to face that fact.
What's one thing you know now that you wished you knew sooner?
You be just like this. Hair muffed up, scarfed up.
They ain't gonna do this to my boy Michael like this.
I ain't doing this.
Zip it up.
Yeah.
You know.
Damn, son. Echo chambers, unite.
But when is he different? Go out that motherfucker to be so cold. Earth got that motherfucker. You got that bitch Sunday.
Today we'll be making air fryer weeknight beef chimichangas. I'm Chef Anthony, and you're watching Publix Apron's Cooking School online.
Caught the flu and think you got cold. That type of. Hey, yo.
So let's begin with our filling for our chimichangas. So we're going to start with fully cooked pot roast. And this has been reheated according to package directions. We're going to shred that up just a little bit. We also strained some of the excess gravy off of it so our filling isn't so wet. Okay? Then we're going to add some Spanish-style rice, which has also been heated according to package directions. And we also have diced tomatoes with green chilies. Now, this has also been strained for the same reason.
I know it got me through.
We'll give that a good mix. And then we're going to set that aside. I'm going to grab our air fryer along with some other ingredients to build our chimichangas. So we're going to start by lining our air fryer basket with some non-stick aluminum foil. This is going to keep the food from sticking to the air fryer, and it also makes for easy cleanup. So once you have your basket lined, you want to put it in the air fryer, and we're going to set the temperature for 400 degrees. And we want this to preheat and get nice and hot before we start cooking our chimichangas. Now, I took these tortillas and put them in the microwave for about 30 seconds. That's really important because it makes them more pliable and easy to roll without cracking. We're going to take some queso blanco dip and just spread a little bit right across the center of the tortilla. And we're using a Southwest style.
I don't just drop videos.
There you go.
I recommend.
Wait a minute, isn't the one on the Tiana Taylor? Isn't she married?
You know.
Why is she not giving her married woman advice?
Become a better communicator in this relationship. Like, I think I actually learned that about myself. I actually was a horrible communicator.
That's the key.
You didn't know.
You did? You didn't know?
That's the key, bro.
I was the original who taught
That's
you
the
about
number one key.
Okay.
Okay, so hold on, Carl.
What you gonna put on her? Leave him
alone. So that's something I like.
Entitled.
I've been working on that.
That else keep manipulating your root system.
Yeah. I don't even think that is anything that, like, I wish I knew then that I know now. I knew. I probably knew that.
I was okay just not having regrets. Hey, life is life.
I feel like that's the beautiful part of growth.
Yes.
Oh, here we go.
What I wanted at 21, I don't want it 25.
Right.
But at 21, I can't really speak to it.
That's what I'm saying.
Two different
Like,
mindsets, two different. I don't even know her anymore.
Wow.
I don't know who she is. What does she do?
Wow.
What's she do?
What?
Don't judge me based off that man.
You see that ass slowed all the way down.
What's so interesting about this is that you heard what she said. She said she knew the bad choices and decisions, but now that she's 25, apparently 4 years ago, is a completely different human being than what she is today. But it's not like they're about to get into that live life with no regrets, my truth is. So let's just keep going.
This is who we're dealing with today. So
address me as today.
Okay.
We don't say yesterday's price.
It's not today's
price.
Yeah, but yesterday's price is higher than today's price. What becomes more valuable with age, time, and use? I'll wait.
Who she was 40 years ago. Who she was yesterday.
People
today.
Don't understand them.
No, that's what I say. Don't have no regrets in life.
And you can't live your life based on like what other people are gonna think, how other people are gonna feel. Because it's your life. So what's gonna make you happy? Like, I never want to look back and be like, oh, I wish I did.
You can't live with any regrets. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's probably some things that everybody feel like I could have handled this differently. Or I could have done it. But
that motherfucker got wings in that motherfucker wallet.
Regret the lesson? Do I regret? I
gotta be a duck.
So much in the process. So it's like I wouldn't trade the knowledge I got for anything.
Freeform, gonna need.
Just like I anticipated, they're masquerading behind the walls of live life with no regrets, or live in your truth, or your freedom ideology. But in reality, there is nothing new under the sun when it comes to dating. I mean, she even said it before that she knew. Life is about choices and decisions, which leads to a cause and then an effect. And that effect is going to result in a particular outcome. Mistakes mistakes may be an inevitable outcome, but humans have been around long enough to not need to be told that playing with fire might get you burned.
And sometimes you need those, like, mistakes, whatever they want to call it. You need those mishaps to know what to do better in the future. We got to stop living in what we could have done better, what we could have done, and move forward in how we can become a better version of ourselves every single day, because time is not our friend. You don't get yesterday back, you don't get last month back, you don't get those years back. So all you can do is move forward and prepare yourself for being a young adult and a woman and then a mom and a wife or whatever it is that you see yourself being now.
Smart people learn from their mistakes. Wise people learn from other people's mistakes. Life's not about just living free in your mistakes and whatever just happens.
Y'all go get
take a look out and say, here's my goal. What do I need to do in order to get to my goal? No one's going to forgive you for your mistakes. No one owes you a trophy because you tried hard.
Oh, you have
to get no lines.
A new Chevy is the smart way to hit the open road. Go a little farther this summer in a new Chevy. Find your get up and go, find new roads. Chevrolet.
I have enough knowledge to be like, okay, I tried it this way. This didn't work. Still don't regret it though. You know, we have deep conversations, so it's like, even when we talk, it's always from a perspective of woman to woman. Not telling you what you should do, how you should do it, especially because we're 2 different ages. But it's just like,
but it's just like
the game is
to me like, yo, this
exactly
played out.
It's a dirty game.
No, what's up?
Exactly.
I find these echo chamber conversations so interesting because although the young lady on the left is meant to be married woman advice, not necessarily a live free, you'll be forever young. But what are the things that you can be doing to lock down the highest value man possible? And although she's married, it seems to be pushing this power through independence that we hear so many of the modern day feminists espousing. There doesn't seem to be power in togetherness. There doesn't seem to be power in building families. And instead of speaking through the reality of your biological clock and not that, what can she be doing to lock down the highest value man
It depends.
possible,
It depends
because
on
men typically date down and they like much more innocent, much more teachable versions of themselves. And the consequences of not figuring that out before your biological clock expires might be a future like Lolo Jones.
They're trying to
I've waited for my husband for so many years.
basically take all the rights.
And I'm about to turn 40. There's a lot of stress right now.
It's all right.
The first shot of many. Okay, so she's starting IVF.
I like Bumble
The youngest,
because I make
killing
it
each other.
versus feeling like somebody's like
That's not a
like,
reason they're trying to be.
I don't like her. I don't like her bikini. The boobs not big enough. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. And I'm just with me. I'm like, okay, I get to choose.
It's on your terms.
Yeah, she be moving fast.
Always on
That's all for real.
It may be on your terms to give up the insides of your viscous innards, but it's still not on your terms for getting married. And I think what she brings up right there is the fundamental understanding that most modern women don't have is that, yes, they decide sexual relationships, but they don't decide relationships or marriage.
When I see something I like, I kind of like, I'm on it. And then if I don't, I'm off it. It's like just an automatic, like, it's a hard stop.
To the earlier point, you dating on your own terms, and there's no
you cut
rush.
bitch
And
have
right,
a
you
good
talked about
time.
earlier, there should be no regrets either. You know, don't start getting into
Definitely
that,
have a good time.
Yeah, and I feel like if a situation's no longer serving you, there's nothing wrong with leaving that situation.
There's no mutual benefit or value exchange there. You are essentially the servant, and at the point that she wants to leave the situation because it no longer serves her, then she will. All you married dudes need to take note.
Does that count if like you married and we go on a date? Does that count? Because like when we go on dates, when me and my partner do go on dates, I do the married thing. I want to look good because I never get to like look good.
It's just not your first date. When you're going someplace totally different that y'all never been before, that's your first date. You consider it like that. That's your first time going.
I'm a comfort person.
I think what's interesting about this component of the conversation is that they brought a normal woman, right? A private life woman, and they're putting her in front of two celebrities that are rich and famous. Because I think the point is there is to show a degree of authenticity or normalcy there, because the average or the normal people are watching them. And I think therein lies a particular problem for a potential viewer, is that they think that they can make the same or similar decisions that the famous women make and not suffer the same consequences. Ciara getting a Russell Wilson had nothing to do with her prayer. Had a lot to do with that she's rich, famous, and beautiful. So the analogy there is like me getting dating advice from a famous rapper or famous entertainer. It just doesn't make sense, because at the end of the day, our lives are fundamentally different. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Me over tutorialsreviews@gmail.com. What you guys think about today's video? Leave me your comments down below, whether you agree or you disagree. Leave your timestamps down below as well, so I know exactly which component of the video that you are speaking about. All right? Until next time, YouTube.
Man, that shit going on.
Peace!
Telling people, go to work, go to the house, go out, go have fun, go back to the house.
What do you mean the connecting rooms were not confirmed?
Exactly, not confirmed. But they're super close, though. There's just a courtyard in between them. Well, actually, it's an alley, but nobody lives in it anymore, so that's cool.
Go ahead and lock your door.
When you want your kids in a room that's actually connecting,